Assalamu alaikum, it's curlypeyos here. I just have a few inyanim I want to speak about. One thing is the internet. I'd like to speak about the internet. Basically the internet, why is Apple like iPhones, iPads, why is their logo on Apple? And what does this have to do with the internet? And a lot of people say with the internet there's good and there's bad. You can do good things and bad things. Let's see why it's an apple. When Adam and Chava, when they ate from the Eitz Hadas, they say it was an apple. And what was it? There's the Eitz Hadas, Tov v'Ra, good and bad. So now when you have the apple, you could do good with it or bad with it. The internet, let's think. Some good things you could do with the internet. People could go on the internet, they could spread Torah, they could have chavrusas, they could look up when the young Tovim are, they could go on Zamanim, they could look up what time Zamanim are, they could be in touch with people on Skype, they can make videos for YouTube, they can make good videos. But then there's other things, chas v'shalom, a person could do bad things on the internet. People, you could look up, chas v'shalom, you could look up non-Jewish kings' names on Wikipedia, like bad things. There's things that aren't so good that you could do on the internet, and bad chavrusas. So that's why it's the Eitz Hadas, Tov v'Ra is an apple. Because with the apple you can do good and bad. With the Eitz Hadas, you know much, you get das from looking on the internet. People, they get das, what they think is das. They get knowledgeable. So yeah, that's one thing. That's the one thing I just wanted to talk about the internet. The other thing is, there's a thing, it's called movies, that people watch. I just want people to understand that movies, there's a halacha in the Shulchan Aruch, it says that a person, we shouldn't go in the ways of the goyim. If the goyim wear a red shoelace, we should wear a black shoelace, because we shouldn't go in the chuppahs of goyim. But when you have movies, you see that on movies it shows you word for word how to act and dress like the goyim, to do everything like them, which is very. When someone's watching it, it could be a big Yetzer Hara when someone's watching these things, they step by step how to act like the goyim. It's very, very hard that a person shouldn't want to go in their ways, especially because they see what's going on and all these things. Yeah. Like it says in the parsha with Dina, right? Yaakov's daughter. It says she wanted to see what the benos of the goyim, how they act, and through that it led to very bad things. It's funny because the Rashi Tevis of that pasuk, maybe it's Vayetze Dina Bas Yaakov Giresh. Something like that, I'm not sure, but the Rashi Tevis are Hollywood. Okay? Basically, yeah, but when we see what the non-Jews are doing, which is movies, Mama shows us, we have a big Yetzer Hara to fall into what they're doing, and then Mama takes us away from the Torah. You can learn Torah, you can watch movies. It says when we learn Torah, we sweeten judgments in our Yisrael. You know? So, another thing is, it says that the evil inclination, the other side, it gets its power from Rahmanus. So, if in the movies it said bad things about Jews, and if the actors weren't Jewish, and they wouldn't mention anything Jewish, and they'd make fun of Jews, so the Jews would be like, oh, I'm not watching these movies anymore. Right? Let me give you an example. In the movies nowadays, there are a lot of movies, and even the songs from Goyish singers, they mention randomly one time, they're just having a party, and they'll say Mazel Tov. So that's Rachmanus, the Yetzer Hara is nurtures from Rachmanus. So then all the Jews that are watching the movie, they go like, did you hear that? Yanki, you heard that? He said Mazel Tov. Did you hear that? And the non-Jews act this Mazel Tov. So all these things, and in the movie, we're celebrating the Bar Mitzvah, and then all the Jews, they get all happy. The Yetzer Hara, it gets nurtured now from the Rachmanus. If they said in the movie something against Jews, then the Jews would be like, I'm not watching that movie anymore. You hear? like they say, like the singers, if they're like nowadays, a lot of Jews, there's some Jews listening to perverted non-Jewish music, rap, some teenagers, and you hear imagine in the song, some of the Goyish rappers, imagine they say bad things about Jews and curse the Jews. So then the Bachram would say, I'm not listening to this non-Jewish, what disgusting music, it makes fun of Jews. So therefore they don't, because then we feel more comfortable watching it. That's why also there's a lot of Jewish actors in Hollywood. Why? Because it says that Achashverosh Vatilkach Esther el Beis HaMelech. Achashverosh took a Jewish queen, because through that they'd have the power, the Malchus, the leadership of Kedusha inside of the evil. You hear someone say to his friend, did you hear that? Isn't that cool? Achashverosh's wife, his name is Esther and she's Jewish. Isn't that cool? But we don't realize that, you hear? Like, people are watching movies and like, you hear like, oh, did you hear that? Wow, Mazel, did you hear that? He said bar mitzvah. Oh, did you see that guy who's wearing a yarmulke in the movie? Wow. You hear all these things, it's just to give her a power. You hear? Because if they said bad things about Jews, so then we wouldn't want to watch movies. That's it, I'm not watching movies anymore. I can't deal with this. All these anti-Semitic things in the movies. I'm not watching movies anymore. And I even heard a song and the singer was saying bad things about Jews. I'm not listening to non-Jewish music anymore. I don't care. Ugh, I can't deal with this. You hear? At the end of the movie, it's like, let's say a Jewish family is watching a movie. At the end of the movie, it shows the cast. See, Goyim don't watch the cast. They could care less. They don't care about the cast. Jews, they sit for an extra 10 minutes. Get their money's worth. They sit for 10 minutes and they just watch the cast. Look, Yankel Leberschmidt. Another Jew. Did you hear? Almost all the cast is Jewish. Oh, that's amazing. We should watch more movies. Wow, did you see? Another Jew. Oh, the producer's Jewish. The actor, I didn't know he's Jewish. He's Jewish. Wow, that's amazing. Let's watch more and more movies. Wow. And you realize I never watched really movies. I never watched really disgusting movies, but I could be that in a lot of perverted movies also there's Jews, because that gives even more, it gives like an okay to the Yetzer Hara. Like, if that actor is Jewish, and he's in this movie, so then it gives them, it makes it okay to watch, because it's Jewish. You understand? So basically this is a thing that's very, very important, Also, it says that in the anti-Semitic, it doesn't say, but you can see clearly, in the world, the anti-Semitic actors, right? The anti-Semitic stylers, the anti-Semitic singers, I'm not saying they're good at all, but through them, they make Jews not listen to their music. They keep Jews from listening to the disgusting music. If Eminem said something bad about Jews, even non-religious Jews wouldn't listen to his music. They wouldn't want to. Okay? So through anti-Semitic singers and actors, it stops us from watching their movies. Okay? Stops us from listening to their music. Tommy Hilfiger says that he makes an anti-Semitic comment. What do Jews say? That's it, I'm not wearing Tommy Hilfiger anymore. That's it, I'm going to start wearing my Bekishe again. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm going to dress in a white and black shirt every day. I don't care. I'm not wearing Tommy Hilfiger. He's an anti-Semite. You hear? So it's like totally upside down. It's an upside down world. You hear? Basically Halavai, if all the non-tznius clothing manufacturers were anti-Semitic, so then everyone would be tznius. You hear? Pashat pshat. So basically, and then when we see like a pro-Jewish actor, pro-Jewish this, pro-Jewish that, pro-Jewish is good. But when there's something pro-Jewish that's in the Tumah, so it just makes the Jews go after it. You understand? Yeah, this is a major point that I just wanted to share. And Bezrat Hashem will have Mashiach soon, the Yetzer Hara, it's a big Yetzer Hara to watch movies. But it's definitely, could be it's a waste of time. Could be that it says in the Torah, it says in Shema, we say, V'shach b'chov k'mecha. When you go to sleep and you wake up, you should be learning Torah. It says, ודיברת בום, בשבתך ובשך, ובלכתך בדרך, בשך ובקמך. And it says, and you're supposed to, it says, Vishnantum levanecha, you're supposed to teach Torah to your son. So now the Yetzer Hara gets us that instead of going to sleep learning Torah and waking up learning Torah, we go to sleep and watch movies. We go to sleep watching movies and wake up watching movies. Instead of fathers going to sleep, instead of fathers learning Torah with their sons at night and going to sleep, they watch a movie with their son at night. That's like mamish totally opposite. So basically, it says if the person would go to sleep learning Torah, he'd fall asleep. It says if it's hard for someone to fall asleep, you should learn Torah, then for sure the Yetzer Hara will let him fall asleep. So basically, if you learn Torah at night, it's a segula to fall asleep early, and then to wake up early because you have koach and it's good for your neshama and it makes you happy and not depressed. So then you wake up early. You're able to go to sleep early and wake up early. Movies, it's the opposite. It keeps your Yetzer Hara up, keeps you up very late, and then it makes you wake up late because you're depressed. So in the end, it just makes a person depressed and far from the purpose of life. And it's not good for his neshama, so his neshama just wants to sleep. Basically, that's mamish a crazy thing. Also, how come when people are eating, when someone watches movies, they get very hungry? That's why they have popcorn and all kinds of nash. They're watching movies. Why? Why do they get hungry when you watch a movie? Because it says, Rabbi Nachman says that someone who's far from emes, if someone who's sunken in taivas achila, it shows that he's far from truth. Because since his neshama is not seeking the purpose, so it tries to go for other things that aren't really the purpose, like other addictions and other taivos. So when someone's watching a movie, since it's pure untruth, it's checker and checker, it's like fake people saying fake things in a fake story. So since it's something so fake, so the neshama is like looking for something else. It's trying to look for something that's real. So it says maybe food's real because it makes you feel good and gives you energy. So that is part of the tachlis, but that's when you're eating to do good things, to have strength to do good things. Rabbi Nachman says, how come a person when he's sick, he says a person when he's not doing the tachlis, when he's not looking what the purpose is in life, so his neshama, sometimes it brings upon him, he gets brought upon him sicknesses, because he's not doing the tachlis, he's not doing what he's here for, so sometimes he can become sick because he's not doing what he's supposed to do in this world, so then he becomes sick. It says, and then when the doctors give him all kinds of bitter medicines and all kinds of things that are against his what he's used to and what he likes. So when his neshama sees that his body could take these medicines and that it could do things that are against what he feels comfortable with, like putting like IVs and all kinds of medicines. So through this, the neshama sees, maybe he could go against his bodily desires, and he could eat less, and he could eat bitter herbs and medicines. And through this, he has a refuah. Like the secret is that he's having refuah because his neshama sees that he could go against the nature of his body to not eat certain things and to even fast and all different sicknesses, all different things that the people chas v'shalom have to do when they're sick. That through this, the neshama sees, maybe the person, he could come to the tachlis because he could do things that he's not, that his body is not used to. Also, it says that, like most people I know, like when they start like working out and like dieting, so they all of a sudden they like wake up that they're able to. They have thoughts of tshuva, start putting on tefillin, start keeping Shabbos, because their body sees like, wow, this person, he could start eating less. Like when he's further away from certain desires and types like food, when he's dieting, working out, so through this he has, through this his neshama sees, wow, his Yetzer Hara, like fights his Yetzer Hara, even if it's something gashmish, like working out, bodybuilding. So his Yetzer Hara sees, like wow, the Yetzer Tov sees, this person he's able to fight, like some desires, and through this, and also because in a it brings him closer to truth and to tshuva, because he sees that food is like one of a very big taiva, a very big desire. And when his Yetzer Tov sees he could break that, Imamish like bring him closer, like breaks the Yetzer Hara a bit, no matter what. Yeah. Yeah. So this is just a few things I want to speak about. I hope it's good. I hope I didn't make enemies. I mean, I'm sure your Yetzer Haras aren't my best friend right now. But yeah, hopefully your Yetzer Tovs are my friend, and yeah, you can put some of these, whatever, on the YouTube. I don't really care, I'm just trying to say this to hopefully help people, to help your Yetzer Tovs, B'ezrat Hashem. Chaim Tov Shalom.